Hi, my name is Aymar Christian, and I'm an assistant professor of communication studies at Northwestern University and the founder of OTV Open Television. OTV for me started with a question and a problem. The question would be, what does intersectional television look like? I know that sounds academic. For me, intersectional television looks at complex identities. Who has multiple identities that they can claim have been marginalized by the market and society? So Black women, queer people of color, disabled undocumented folks, right? People who really have intersections that are difficult to understand unless you actually allow them to speak their experience. The problem is TV, I think, has historically struggled with intersectionality. BET has been critiqued for not really representing LGBTQ people in the past. Or Logo, right, has been seen as underrepresenting queer women on their platform. So every TV distribution platform seemed to be underserving some audience. So for me as a researcher, I was thinking, well, what would happen? What would we learn by actually not trying to segment people, but actually think about how identities come together and communities come together? The goal is to show the world, show the country, the industry, the breadth of talent outside of industry supply chains. And I hope that every year we put out a slate of shows and those artists go on to immediately tell their own stories on a bigger stage to more people, get global marketing, get awards. I also want to support Chicago, right? I want to see Chicago build a production base. I want that production base to be representative of this city, right? I want our crews to be reflective of the people who live across the city. I want to be able to get union work, well-paying work, to people who've been historically excluded from production. Those key artists who are consistently producing, they need to be supported so that they can then support more artists and help those artists build their own practices and their own communities. And that's how you build an economy, that's how you build a scene. And the more people are included, the better it's going to be. It seems like on social media that people come out of the blue and become stars out of nowhere. I guarantee you, if you do research into that person's career, they've been working for years with no one recognizing their work, no one wanting to collaborate them, and they just kept doing it day after day. Anything worth having in this life, anything valuable, takes time, care, and real relationship building. So I just want to tell people, like, don't rush, because I've seen creators rush into production and they make mistakes and then they're unhappy with what happens, or they end up burning through relationships because they didn't take the time to really come up with a structure for that relationship. And those relationships are so key to your long-term sustainability. So I would say patience, build your relationships, support each other, what Issa Rae calls network across, right? Don't always just try to get to the people who's above you. Look at the people who are at your level, right? And support them. Go to their premieres. If you have a couple extra days where you're not working, volunteer on their sets or connect them to someone that you know who has resources, right? Don't just hoard all your resources and relationships. Share them, because the more you share and the more you help, the more that's going to come back to you and help you. And that's how you build a long-term career, right? It's all of us coming together, up together. It's not just one person gets successful and screw the rest of them. Anyone who has that attitude to their career is not going to be in the business for a very long time. Yeah, well, we'll see. I have no idea, but I want to be an incubator. I'm really happy that OTV is still churning out new work and that artists are still creating really interesting programs for us to release.